Good morning, guys. Finally coming out with another review. Sorry I haven't been uploading recently. I've been having a few rough days. It's been really difficult to pump out content. But I've got a bunch of stuff to review. I've got mice, I've got mouse pads, I've got keyboards even to review. I just wanted to thank you guys for the amazing support recently. I've been gaining a few subscribers, and I really appreciate that. I really thank you guys. Thank AndrewPP for all the support he's given the channel. Go subscribe to him, go support him. He's the best. He makes really good content, daily uploads too. But let's get into this review. Today we're going to be reviewing the Razer Abyssus V2 d.va edition. This is a very different shape. First and foremost, I'll address the elephant in the room that it has no side buttons, not even a DPI button. I find this as a very positive thing. It helps you focus more on aiming than macros and that kind of stuff. I know I'm in the very, very slim minority of people who don't like side buttons, but I feel like this is only a positive, and I like it a lot. I don't even use side buttons anymore. I just use middle click if I ever need something, or my keyboard. You know, you got a lot of keys on your keyboard, you just use your keyboard. But I understand that that might be a concern for some people, but I recommend you keep your eyes open, or your mind open to this as a mouse, since this is a very nice shape. There's a lot of high quality features in this, and this usually only goes for about $40, but the supply of them is starting to get low, so I do recommend you get one now, at least for archival purposes, in case you do like it. If you don't like it, you can always return it to Amazon, or you could keep it circulating through Mouse Market, which I highly recommend you do. But let's get this started. So let's start off with the shape. So this shape reminds me a lot of this other mouse I have. I actually recently bought, and it doesn't work, but it's the Logitech wheel mouse. I believe it is. I don't know if it's an optical or not, but this is an interesting shape. It's quite different in a lot of ways, but what I do notice that it is similar in is the way that the clicks are formed. The clicks, they're very narrow where you put your fingers down. There's a lot of this like side area that there is, but it's very narrow. You have to keep your fingers narrow, especially with 131. It's not as big of an issue, or I guess a changing point for regular grip, but for 131 it is definitely very different. There's the sides curve inwards, kind of down here, and then they just in general they just curve down towards the base. They curve down towards the base, but they have the comfort grooves inwards, so you can kind of grip it like that. I 131, so I can't say a lot about how people grip it like this, but I can say for 131 it is ideal. I love it. The clicks are pretty high up for a mouse. I like lower clicks. I agree with Rocket Jump Ninja with the whole notion that lower clicks gives you more control or whatever, but in general this is a very low mouse. The highest point on this mouse at the hump is towards the back, but even then the hump is only like 3.7 centimeters, and that's really low. It's great for fingertip. I loved fingertipping this mouse, but whenever I would claw, whenever I needed that extra control, it was also pleasant. It felt good. It fills the palm right here where you claw, and I just liked it. It was enjoyable, but I still want lower clicks. I wish Razer would redo this mouse, make it a little bit lighter, because there is a lot of room to make this lighter, but I want the clicks a lot lower. Another thing to note is also that the scroll wheel is also very, very low. It's very low. You notice it as soon as you start using it. It's almost flush with the clicks, but you get used to it. It's not that bad. It's usable. It's not horrible, but it is an adjustment that you have to make. So next up we got the coating. This is a very nice coating. It's textured a little bit. It wears down pretty easily, but it is textured. I'm concerned about whether or not the paint here will start fading, like you can see on the white G Pro wirelesses that have come out over the years, as well as the super lights, how they start yellowing. I don't know if that's going to happen on this blue area. Obviously you won't be able to see it on the black area, but I'm concerned about the paint wearing off, since it has worn off in this little corner right here, right out the box. I don't know from what, but the most notable thing is that this is a fingerprint vacuum. This sucks fingerprints straight on and just paints them onto this mouse. You could have just like a little the thinnest layer of lotion on your hands maybe, and it'll leave marks, like serious marks all over it, and you just can't get them out for some reason. I tried everything. I tried a microfiber cloth. I tried wiping it down with some like alcohol wipes. Nothing. I wouldn't recommend alcohol wipes because I think this is actually painted on, so you might be wearing off the paint. But it's a nice texture, especially on the tops, like the top plate. I really like it. It's got good grip. The sides feel a little bit cheap, but it is a very thick plastic, so that kind of makes up for it. But it does feel a little bit cheap on the surface. No issues with grip slipping. It's really grippy, and the sweat, I didn't notice any abnormal sweat with this mouse. So getting into the buttons, let me do a little click test. Left click, right click, middle click, scroll, and obviously there's no DPI button or side buttons, which is nice. I really like these clicks. They are very different from like anything else on the market. They are tensioned very differently. They're super hard to press in. They're not like it's like not horrible to press in. It's not hard or anything, but it is very heavy. It is very well tensioned. It's not thick either. It's very clicky. It's very tactile, but it is very heavy to press in. The middle click doesn't feel any different from, something like a Death Adder scroll wheel, or it's a lot more tactile than a Viper Mini scroll wheel, but the click feels the same as most other Razer scroll wheels. But the main clicks, they're very heavy, very thick, and it takes a lot of getting used to, but once you get used to it, they feel really premium. And I love that about this mouse, especially at the price point, $40, $30 that I got it on sale actually. There's zero pre-travel, literally nothing. It's tensioned so stiffly, and no post-travel either. It's insane. It's like I'm at a loss for words. The scroll click is perfectly tensioned in my opinion. It's not too hard to press in, but not too easy either. It's at that right good middle way. The scroll is very pleasant. I like Zowie scroll wheels, but this is really nice. It's very tactile, and it's not that loud either. It is a little bit loud, but it's not that loud. It's not Zowie level loud, obviously. No side buttons, not even a DPI button. No side buttons. Like I said, I personally like that. It helps me focus more on my aim. It helps me adjust my grip more in more, weird ways than I would normally, and it's less distracting. I don't have to worry about accidentally clicking my side buttons. I don't even use side buttons, honestly. I've noticed it. I just don't use them anymore. It's just distracting to my aim. I know it sounds kind of awkward saying that, but I feel like it's true. I don't agree with side buttons that much. I know their place, and I know I'm in the minority, but I just don't like side buttons. The build is amazing. This is super sturdy. There's almost no crease to this mouse, or a creak, sorry. If you push it in here in the middle, obviously it'll click it just because of the way the mouse is built and the way it's tensioned. But overall, this is just a stiff, really well built. It's literally like two pieces of plastic, just obviously bolted together. I love it. It's built amazing. There's no complaints whatsoever. It's 80 grams as well, which is on the heavier side for a mouse this size, but it is built very well, and I can see it lasting a very long time. It's a great G203 competitor in terms of build. Obviously the shapes are nothing similar, but if you want heavier clicks, a smaller mouse, and a better scroll wheel than Logitech's, in my opinion, I would go with this over the G203, even though it is roughly $15, maybe even $20 more expensive sometimes. So the cable, obviously yucky rubber cable. It's a little bit flexible. It's not horrible to use, and it's also shiny. It's glossy, so it doesn't rub against your mouse pad, which is awesome. But it is rubber cable. This is an older mouse. This is before the whole paracord cables started mainstreaming, but it's not horrible. You can live with it a little bit. As for the feet, they're black Teflon feet. They're pretty thin, honestly, but they're not horrible. They wear in pretty quickly, and they glide okay. It's not the best, but it's very consistent, and it's not scratchy at all, which is honestly a positive for me. The last thing I wanted to mention was that the liftoff distance out of the box in this mouse is super high. So the easiest fix is just to go into Synapse, set your mouse pad to the Gigantus V2. It really doesn't matter, but just set it to the Gigantus V2, and then it gives you the option to lower the lift off distance to however much you want. I would recommend 1 or 2, see which one you like better, and you're done, and it feels way better. That's my review. I highly recommend this mouse just because of the shape and the premium feel it provides. I understand that you might not want to buy this mouse because it doesn't have any side buttons, but I recommend you look past that and look at the other benefits this mouse has. I give this mouse a solid 9 out of 10 rating. I love this mouse. I wish it was, you know, reworked for today's standards, and I would love to see what Razer would do with this mouse. I love it so much. This is main material, especially if I can get it, you know, modded out and feel nice, paracorded and stuff. I would seriously main this mouse. But thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video, follow me on Twitter, and thank you so much for the support recently. Go buy this mouse.